What's up? This is Boxing Wade. Today I'm going to do a top 10 boxing list. Okay, this is current. It's October 2013. Juan Manuel Marquez just lost to Timothy Bradley, so I'm giving you some kind of idea of what's going on in the sport. This is not my top 10 personal favorite list, because if I did that list, it would be a totally different list. All right, so I'm gonna start off with number one, Floyd Money Mayweather. He's pretty much the best boxer in this era, and he's the only boxer that is arguably the best boxer of all time. He's the only boxer, the only active boxer that you can even compare to some of the greats like Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, whoever you want to compare him to. He is the best defensive fighter I've ever seen. He doesn't have much power, but he has speed and everything else. No one has even come close in years to beating this guy. I mean, he's beaten guys and made it look easy. And this is why he's number one, because the way he beats his opponents, they hype these guys and, they promote these fights to make you believe that these guys actually have a chance. And then when they get in the ring, it's a whole nother story. So this is why he's number one on my list. He's still undefeated, and he's about to retire. He has about 4 more fights left, and he's broken all kinds of records. And whatever you want to say about him, he's the best in this era. Number two, Andre Ward. Andre Ward is the a current super middleweight champion. He won the Super 6 tournament a few years ago. Pretty much beat all the competition in that whole weight class. That whole division is flooded with talent, and he pretty much beat them all. And unfortunately, it's not too many people left for him to fight. He's probably gonna have to move up in weight or move down to fight some guys. But I don't see anyone beating this guy. This is probably the only guy other than Floyd Mayweather that I really don't see anyone beating in this sport. I think when it's time for him to retire, I think he's gonna be legendary. And the only people I can really see, compare him to already are some of the legends, like, a younger Roy Jones, a younger Bernard Hopkins. Those are only guys I wish I could see him fight. Obviously, that's never going to happen, but that's the way I look at Andre Ward already. Okay. Number three was a little tough. With number 3 and 4, it was hard to place, because I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Timothy Bradley. I have Timothy Bradley at number 3 now. He just finished beating Juan Manuel Marquez, and he actually looked good doing it. In fact, he beat Juan Manuel Marquez better than Pacquiao has ever done. I think Timothy Bradley has an amazing resume. He has beaten guys in 140. Top guys at 140 when they were undefeated. He's beaten, I think he lost a fight with Pacquiao, but he won the fight, and it was pretty close. I had it 5 rounds to 7 for Pacquiao, but it was a close fight. I hope they fight again, the rematch, and he beat Provodnikov, and just like I said, he just beat Juan Manuel Marquez. He's still undefeated, and he's the only guy that I kind of want to see fight Floyd right now. Number 4, I have Guillermo Rigondeaux. Okay, Rigo is another undefeated guy. He is probably one of the smartest boxers I've seen in a long time. Even on Floyd standards, this guy's defense is great. His boxing IQ is great. It's crazy because he only has like 12 wins. His professional record is very short, but if you look it up, he has like 475 amateur wins. Like, that's crazy. 475 fights. Like, this guy fought 500 times in his life. That's crazy. Like, that's really crazy. So I have him at number 4. He just beat Nonito Donaire, and he outclassed a guy that I think is a top 10 pound for pound fighter. He outclassed him. The only person that could outclass another top 10 guy is Floyd Mayweather, and this is why I had him at number 4. The reason why I didn't put him at number 3, I'm almost put him at number 3. The only reason why I put Bradley ahead of him is because I figured if these two guys were to fight, one, because Bradley has a way better resume than Rigo. 2 is because if they were to fight, I think Bradley would capitalize on some of the mistakes Donaire made in that fight. I think Bradley's boxing ability, which is not as solid as Rigo's is, but I think his aggressiveness and his activeness in the ring might have gave him that slight edge to beat Rigo. It would have been a lot closer fight than it was with Donaire, and this is why I gave Bradley the slight edge over Rigo. All right. Number 5, I believe I have Sergio Martinez. Now, I know Sergio hasn't looked the greatest the last couple of fights. You know, I know he was knocked down a couple of times his last fight. The reason why I have him still at number 5, or for a while, ever since the Paul Williams knockout, I pretty much had him at, I don't remember, number 2 or number 3. It was between him and Andre Ward and Pacquiao. I had Floyd at number 1, and it was like in between. I had him in the top 3 or 4 for a while. The reason why he's still on the list, I know a lot of people don't think he's good enough to be on the list, or he's on the further end of the list. He still hasn't lost. Okay, he hasn't lost since he became that pound for pound king, and you know, he still is good, very good fighter. You know, I think he's getting older now, and I think his time is running short, but I still think he's up there. He's still a threat to anyone he fights, even Golovkin. I think Golovkin might be able to beat him now. You know, he's coming back from his injury, so I don't know how he's gonna look when he comes back. But I'm not gonna just knock him because of almost losses or almost, you know, not looking as good. He's still winning his fights. So clearly, so I think he's still I think this is why I put him at number 5. He has a lot of speed. You know, his cardio is, you know, he's really good. He's a good fighter. All right, number 6, I have Manny Pacquiao. Now, I know he lost his last 2 fights. I know he got knocked out by Marquez. And I know he lost to Bradley. I think Manny Pacquiao is still one of the best boxers in this sport, hands down. Okay, I know he lost to Pacquiao on paper. We all seen the fight. I think Pacquiao edged the fight. Okay, I think it was close, but Pacquiao edged the fight. All right. He didn't look that good, but he still can beat a lot of these guys, okay? Pound for pound, I think he could beat a lot of these guys on this list, okay? He was on number 2 for a while, and he beat a lot of fighters better than Floyd did. He's the only guy that people still want to see fight Floyd, okay? So I have him at number 6. As far as Marquez is concerned, the knockout, it took 4 fights for Marquez to finally knock this guy out. And Marquez was getting demolished that fight. All right, Pacquiao was killing him before he got knocked out, and I'm not gonna take him out of the list just because a guy that he fought 4 times, a guy that's a future Hall of Famer himself, won and beat him. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy. Nobody else would have knocked Pacquiao out like that. Nobody else. Only takes a guy that knows how you fight that good to knock you out. That's my personal opinion. You can slander me in the comments. I really don't care. This is my list. I think Pacquiao belongs on it, even ahead of Marquez, because I'll talk more about that later. Number 7, Danny Swift Garcia. Yes, the young Puerto Rican Philly fighter. I think he deserves his spot. His resume recently, he's been beating guys and he's looking good doing it. Matisse fight, I had to put him on the list. He was the underdog. He's always pretty much the underdog. He went in there and beat Matisse and made it look like Matisse had no power, because Matisse was landing and he was not hurt once. Danny Garcia is always winning. He's winning all the time, and he's looking good. He's knocking guys out. He knocked out Eric Morales. He knocked out Amir Khan. He beat Zab Judah. I mean, he's definitely pound for pound. I mean, he's the best 140 without a doubt, and he's gonna look good when he goes to 147. I think he's gonna look good when he goes to 147. Okay, number 8, I have Vitaly Klitschko. I was gonna say Vladimir, but Vitali is better than his brother, I think. My personal opinion, he's the only boxer I feel that can really truly compete with the 90s era heavyweights. The heavyweights that are all going to retire and everybody miss and everybody blames that the sport is not the same for. I think Vitali Klitschko and his brother too is the only one that can compete with the old greats, you know, the old heavyweights. You know, I'm not saying he can beat them all, but I think he can at least compete with them. You know, he has the athleticism, he has the height, the jab, very smart, you know, boxer IQ. I just added, I had Vladimir first because Vladimir is he's a little bit more active in his career now and these days, but I think Vitali overall is a better fighter and a better fighter to watch. I couldn't put Vladimir on the list after that last fight with Povetkin. That was garbage. You know, I can't. There's a lot of Vladimir fights that are just straight garbage. You know, I respect him as a fighter, but I can't. All right, number 9, Gennady Golovkin. Okay, I already have him at number 9 already. I know there's a lot of people he didn't fight. There's a lot of people in 160 that he didn't fight yet, but guess what? They don't want to fight him. Sergio Martinez is hurt, and then everybody else that's top 5 in 160 don't or can't fight him. Peter Quillen can't fight him, and then the rest of the guys, they don't want to fight him. So I had to put him on the list. I mean, he is the current knockout king. His knockout ratio is crazy. Besides Deontay Wilder and Matisse, he's up there with the best KO ratio, and he's not even a knockout. He's a boxer puncher. He's a boxer that's just happened to knock everybody out. So I put him on the list. You know, he's all around a great fighter, and he's gonna have a great future. I mean, he steps his English up, and he's gonna be a star over here. He's fighting Curtis Stevens next week, so we'll see how that goes. And then finally at number 10, I have who do I have at number 10? Nonito Donaire. I threw him on the list. I know he lost to Rigondeaux, but he's still one of the best in the sport. Okay, it's the same thing with Pacquiao. It was a little different from Pacquiao, but you know, he lost to one of the best guys, one of the top 5 pound for pound that I feel he lost to. And I'm not gonna kick him off the list because of that. I think he's still one of the best at 122. And around that rate, you know, I think he could beat probably almost everyone from 122 to 126 or whatever. He's very talented. He just can't beat this one guy. All right, so I'm not gonna just totally X him out of the list. And that's my top 10. So a couple guys that missed the list. You got Carl Froch. He barely missed the miss. I think I would have had him at 11 if I did the list over. Another one that's the top of the super middleweight, but he just can't beat Andre Ward. You know, I just put Nonito Donaire right in front of him, but he would have been on the list. Who else just missed the list? There's a few people. Like, I didn't feel like Marquez belonged on the list because I just looking at his record from 2009, I'm not really that impressed. I'm impressed with his career. I think he's a legend, but I just didn't think he belonged on the list. He just lost to Timothy Bradley. I know he knocked out Pacquiao, but it's like, I feel like his career is solely based on that. You know, I think he lost to Pacquiao the last time they fought, and you know, he fought a few bums, and he lost to Timothy Bradley, and he lost to Floyd Mayweather really bad. So I think I just didn't find room to put him on the list right now. But I did find room to put Pacquiao on the list. I know you're gonna slander me for it, but I don't care. Adrian Broner, I didn't put him on the list. I need to see more. I'm not putting him on the list yet. I need to see more from him. All right. I think he's really good, but I need to see more. Wasn't impressed with Paulie Malignaggi, Ponce de Leon. Wasn't impressed. So, all right. So let me know what you think. Leave comments. I'm sure you guys are gonna leave comments, but leave comments. Follow me on Twitter, @wavy_10, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks.